preparing to live stream the meeting. Hopefully this works.
Ooh, excited. Is it happening? Is it happening? Is it on Navah?
Yeah. So it's take me to the page.
The lesson I learned is don't add a title.
It's... Oh, really?
Yeah, just stream as is, because it will freaks out whenever I try and do that.
Okay. It's 8 o'clock.
Ooh, excited. I realise from this perspective, like we're not, it's not going to be sort of like lights come on. We're like, oh, we're there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, guys.
Well, it says it's live streaming.
Lovely. I'm trying.
But I don't. But.
Ooh. Ooh.
Nothing my end.
Oh, it's not begun yet.
Okay. So look. I wonder if.
Ooh.
Okay, let me. Well, this isn't going very well, is it?
It's alright. If it makes you feel any better, this is pretty much what it's like for me every time I try to load on.
Amazing.
So,
right,
you're going to be on YouTube, wasn't it? Not Facebook.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
We in?
So we have a different link.
Ooh.
Great.
Well, I tell you what, I can if you ping it to me in a message, I can quickly share it. Or is it live now, or is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, cool.
Oh, it's live now.
Well, that's I'll just get
Oh, love it! Absolutely love it.
Amazing. It's a good start.
Right. Ah, yeah. Oh, there's us. That's quite cool.
There we go.
I'm going to totally just share that on Facebook.
Do it.
I don't know how to. Oh, hang on. Oh my god.
We'll wait for everyone to catch up and.
It's totally fine. Totally. Oh yeah. Log in. Nope. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Right. We should totally like talk about some stuff in the background. Whilst,
we should, yeah, while people are getting there.
Get quiet and people get confused. And
yeah.
Navah Creative.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Oh, there's us. That's sweet. Oh, I realise it looks really rude. Like you're probably just, if you look really passionate and then I'm just on my phone, it just looks really rude. Oh, people are saying hello. That's exciting.
There we go.
Ah, flawless production.
Absolutely flawless. We
No one's
expect.
noticed. It's fine. It's smooth. I wish somebody could share this on my band page, but I haven't got a clue how to do that. Oh. Hi, my name's Bean. I'm the head of tech at a church.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
This is
I'll
good.
tell you what. If I leave this here, I can probably. I've got like 20%, so I can probably see some of the chats. Oh, hey David.
Great.
Somebody said hello, David. That's exciting.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there anybody called David? Oh no, there's somebody on the
There
chat
is.
called David. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Hi guys.
There we go. Well, good. Well, welcome everyone. This is our terrible attempt at a podcast live event.
I think it's smooth. I think it's niche.
Seamless. Seamless. Excellent.
Oh,
Oh, very good. Yeah, so my name is Lewis, and I'm with the wonderful Bean Baker.
hi.
I'm in sunny Wales, and Bean is in sunny Gloucester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Has it
is
been that sunny today?
on and off, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been warm.
Oh, okay.
It's been quite warm. Very good.
No, that's great. I've been living in my I'm actually inside my garage at the moment, which has no natural light, but it's also where my office is, and so therefore most of the day, if it's been sunny, or cold or wet, I just won't know, because it's just I'm in a cave.
A man cave.
It's not a man cave. It's functional and for work.
Fair enough.
But yeah, a little bit like a man cave actually.
Excellent.
I think if we were to describe a man cave, I think it might actually tick a lot of those boxes. So, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, it's dark and it's got toys.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Daniel is asking, can Bean turn his output up at least 5 decibels?
5.
Apparently,
Um,
that's the sound guy in the group. But then I'm
Sure.
just concerned if you perform, whether it's going to be
I
too
mean,
loud.
if I come this close here, is that better? I could just talk into the microphone. Would that be better? I don't know. I realise there's going to be like a little bit of lag.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I could probably just. There we go. I've turned up the acoustic guitar a little bit, so hopefully that's a bit nicer. Oh, it's quite low though. Nah.
Cool. We'll give it a go. Good. So we the whole idea behind these Navah so we started a creative collective in Newport, which is our local city, back in January, and the whole idea is that just gather creative people together, do a bit of life together, try and create something positive to influence our city, essentially, and bring a message of hope and life through our creative expressions, which was great. And we met quite a few, we met 3 times, I think, in Quarters Coffee Shop in Newport, which was amazing. And then, have you heard of something called COVID-19 or coronavirus? I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of somewhere in the back. I've probably heard of it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Apparently, something happened with that, and so
Yeah.
we just all got locked in our houses. So so we couldn't meet in public anymore, which is really sad. So part of that was we were planning to do maybe every other month a podcast live event where we'd get a guest in and we'd interview them and chat about what they're doing in their world, and then open it up for questions and answers, and a bit more interactive, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we were going to film it and put it on YouTube. So we're just going to skip the actually getting together bit and just do it live on YouTube. So
Sounds great.
I mean, it works, I think.
So am I like the guinea pig?
You are absolutely the guinea pig. Yeah. This is the very first one. Yeah.
Great. It's going to be smooth. No one's going to notice.
No, not at all. Excellent. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you are, what you do.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Bean. I live in a little village. Well, actually, I think it's a large village called Churchdown, which is between Gloucester and Cheltenham. I am a member of a church in Cheltenham, Cheltenham Elim Church. I also work for that church as its creative person. There are more creative people in the church, just to clarify. I think I have a title. It's fine. um, and I also run a band called Bean Baker Band. And some people sometimes think that's out of arrogance, but it's mainly out of laziness. I just couldn't come up with a better name quick enough. And yeah, what else would you like to know?
Um,
I mean,
no,
that was a real quick overview.
yeah, yeah. No, I think that's good. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So you have a guitar in your hand, and you
I
you,
do.
you talk about the Bean Baker Band. Do you want to? How did that all start? Like where was the beginnings of that?
Oh man. So I've been gigging for quite a few years, but I went to an organisation called NGM, where I was a member of the house band, which was quite fun, and I met some other musicians there. And after a couple of years, we decided we wanted to pursue this after we'd left, so we started up a band called the Bean Baker Band, and it basically meant that we could start expanding the musicians that we used. So it wasn't just a set 4 piece or a set 5 piece, but it meant that as long as I was part of the band, anybody else who's joining it was part of the band. And so I think we technically have like 10 musicians we use now, which I think some people say greedy, but I think it's become necessary. But it just means we can say yes to a lot more gigs, and it also means we can try and keep the costs down as much as we possibly can for people who want would like to book us. Yeah, so we kind of did that. We, I think it was New Wine North back in the day when that existed. So I was booked to play there, and it was just such an amazing, fun week where it was just really chilled. We were playing a couple of songs every night, um, all covers, and we were kind of the rest of the day was just really chilled. So we got to go to all these like seminars and kind of had a bit more time to think about like what am I doing? Am I literally just turning up to coffee shops and playing music? Because if that's the case, I mean it's fun, but it's not any longevity in that. And so we had that week to just to kind of think about what do I want to see? What's my heart in this? What's my main goals? And actually, maybe the last 10 years or so, the goal has been just to support, being able to kind of like support people and projects and churches and organisations who just needed a musician or needed some and some entertainment for the events they're putting on, and just to kind of work alongside them, and that out of that, the band was able to continue on with that vision.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. And so, what is your like? What? How would you describe your music?
uh, Great.
I'm going to ask you all the questions people ask me that I hate answering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of like unique and niche. It's kind of indie alt. No, I'm pop, mate. I love pop, and that's all right. Yeah, I'm standard.
Excellent.
That's really boring, but yeah. I mean,
I'm standard.
yeah, standard music. Yeah, it was.
Excellent.
I don't know if you've done the Have you done like the 10 albums over 10 days thing?
I did that about a year ago. Yeah.
I'm just really behind.
Yeah.
Well, so I've done it, and I was chatting to I think a mutual friend of ours, Rob Westall, about this, and like we were just talking about the funniness of like creating these albums, going like, yeah, but I want people to know that I'm like really, really like deep and have a real eclectic taste, and like where like throw some curveballs, but people were like, oh yeah, he's just so into music generally. That's what I wanted to do. But the problem being, as I kept looking at my things, like this is just a list of pop music. I think I ended legitimately with Aqua. So, I mean, didn't quite sell it, but yeah. So in answer to your question, pop.
Great.
How about you, Lewis?
I have no idea what I am. There's what I want to be, and then there's what comes out. Yeah.
Oh, do you know? I completely agree with you. I listen to myself and go like, "Oh, if only I was like super like country. Like, that's what I want to be." And every time I'm just not. I haven't got the accent. Like, if anything, my Gloucester accent comes out, and I'm like this, which doesn't really like country becomes
West Country music.
Yeah, West Country is not. It's not the same as country music. Oh man.
Excellent. So it'd be really good if you maybe want to share a song with us to kick this off and
yeah, I'll do that. Do you know what? Talking about
explain it as well.
Do you want a meaningful song or not a meaningful song? Got both.
I have no preference.
All right, we'll go for nonsense because that's more. Because I don't usually get to play this one. So this song is called Zum Zum Dada. And now, I wrote this song, oh gosh, maybe 20 years ago, which is just pretty crazy actually when you think about it. And so this song I wrote, and I wrote the melody, and I wrote the tune, and I wrote the words, and I was like, do you know what? At some point, I'll come back and put some like really meaningful lyrics over this song, so nobody realizes it was pointless for a while. I never really got round to that, so this is how it is. So I decided, like, let's just make it a bit easier. Let's just make a story up to explain the song, and then hopefully everybody will still feel emotional by it. So be prepared to be manipulated musically. So one day I was walking the streets of Gloucester, because that's where I'm from, a beautiful city with probably one of the best rugby teams in the world. So I can hear some of the Welsh guys going, no. Anyway, as I was walking these streets, I bumped into a gentleman who looked rather upset, and I said, "Excuse me, are you okay?" And he said to me, "No, I'm not." And I said, "Well, what's wrong?" And he said, "It's all gone, mate. It's all gone." And I said, "Well, what's all gone?" And he turned to me and he said, "Jazz." Well, I said to him, that's just utter rubbish, because like you still have like really famous jazz artists like Jamie Cullum and other jazz artists that are famous. And I said, no, you don't understand. So I said, would you mind explaining it to me? He said, well, see, there's no more scat in songs. So I said these stupid words. I said, what is scat? Well, Lewis, it gets worse. He says, Bean, by that point we'd exchanged names, by the way. He said, come sit down next to me, because we're on a brick wall. And he said, you got your guitar with you. Let's write a song. So in 20 years' time, when you get to go on the Navah Creative live stream on YouTube, you can tell the world all about scat. Adding colour to this world, you must engrave. Adding light to a world in a dark room. Adding flavour to this world when it's as bland as can be. Adding something to this world. Sitting as the rhythms while the written if it's gonna ask him inside and bring him in cause it's sad is when the party's gonna happy and think cause we're in England we can rock against Manhattan places louder than you ever heard before put your hands in the air you gotta shut that door whoa, 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 shut that door whoa, 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 whoa. He says some da, eh. That's what he said. reggae, jazzy, or punk, or old or none, or just happening. There was something ways to listen to music these days. Better check yourself now, as we bring back the scattered. Oh, some don't die, some not, that's what you say. Some don't die, some not, did you bump your head? Some don't die, some not, that's what you say. Some don't die, some not, did you bump your head? Say some don't die, some that day, sad don't die. Yes, some don't die, some that day, sad don't die. Cause we're adding something to this world, and that's something, yes. Scott. Sorry, that was a bit weird.
Excellent.
I realise this is the weird thing I'm never really going to get over with the whole live streaming. Is like, I just like, can you assume someone's applauding, or you just go,
Sorry.
I mean, no, it's fine. Is that element of going, do I say thank you in expectance, or does that come across as arrogant? I never know.
Yeah, I always say thank you. Just, you know.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that.
I mean, they're still here and they're still logged in, so you can thank them for that. So.
Oh, thank you. So I'm just that's really nice. Kate's saying some very lovely things about my voice.
Cheers. She's good like that.
Oh, that's very encouraging.
I told her to. Just kidding.
Oh, mate. Oh, man.
No, we love you. We love you. We love you. Your voice is amazing. It's good.
I thought you were writing down compliments.
Yeah, just type this and type this. Not at all. No.
Oh, okay.
That guitar sounds nice.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of late, it's just got a lot nicer in tone. I don't know if there's this organization called like Revive Guitars. Have you heard of them?
I've heard the name floating around.
Yeah, I mean they're phenomenal. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, you are genuinely great, by the way. Like, both the guitars I've looked at recently, like I've been worrying about for ages, and it's just been lovely to kind of like get them to sit back in that pocket. Oh,
amazing,
just lovely.
That's
cheeky
good.
Advertising there, but
yeah,
but yes.
Absolutely.
But lovely. So thank
excellent.
you. I'm very reasonable.
Good. Yeah.
And if you just want to use the code in the comments section, you get this. No.
Yeah. No. Good. So there's a question in local. Can we? Oh well, yeah. So what is your worst tour or live mishap experience?
Oh, that's. I really wish I had that question prepped to me.
We can come back to it. You can think about it.
No. I'm just trying to think. The worst mishap. So, it was it last year? So it wasn't not last year. The year before. We were invited to play a gig at the end of our kind of really busy summer. And we were like, yeah, that's something we'd love to do it. And we got to support Milton Jones, so he was going to be doing some comedy, and so we got to support him before that. And we were like, yeah, that's great. So I was like, I'm going to change all my strings beforehand, make sure they're nice and strong, they're not going to snap. And so I did that, and literally first song, gong, gong, gong. Heartbreaking, genuinely heartbreaking. So that it's when you snap a string, and it's not like the B string. I can live without that. I can live without the E string. It's when I snapped the thick E string, and that's just
that's tough then.
Just no.
Yeah, and I always find that the low E will throw the tuning out.
Yeah,
because it's obviously quite a strong string, I think.
Yeah,
but nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, heckling at gigs, that's always terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and some people just think like forget that you can like you can hear them. So I did this one gig, and this lady shouted out to me, "Will you sing me to sleep?" And I'm like, "No, I won't." I'm okay. Um, Actually, no. I think about the most weird gig. We so I got booked to play at a Christian singles event, which is as weird as it sounds. Like it was. I mean, the guys that run it, phenomenal and really lovely heart behind it. I loved it. But the weird part was not being single and being there. And so it was before the gig actually started, and we were kind of in sat towards the back as non-single people would tend to do in a singles conference. And this lady came up to me, and she was quite loud, but she kind of gets within like about 2 meters of me, and then suddenly looks and sees my wedding ring, to which she doesn't go, "Oh, he's obviously married. I'll turn around and go away." She just turns around into a room full of maybe 400, 500 people, just shouts clear across to a mate who's the other side of the room, going, "Nah, he's married. Don't know why he's here. Waste of time."
Amazing.
And then I had to go lead some worship. That was great. That was a great atmosphere to go.
Superb.
So there you go. That's some weird
Fantastic.
gig times.
Yeah, absolutely. I had can I share a story?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please do.
I was doing it was kind of like it's kind of an open mic night, but we were asked to come. I was like a little acoustic duo, myself and my friend Adam, who plays. We just have a really small drum, just like a cigar box, a snare drum, and a hi hat, and I'd play acoustic and sing, and it was good fun. So the guy who organised the event, he's like, "Oh, just as we arrived, he said, oh, listen, it's just been sort of thrown at me, but ITV are going to be here tonight," and we're like, "Oh, cool, that's great." He's like, "Yeah, they're filming The Undateables." I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "How?" Like, I'm married, and how's this going to work? And then he's like, "Oh no, somebody's coming." So we basically had this lady who was a dwarf come and do a poem, which was very explicit. It was, I mean, yeah. And then so we're sat quite close to the stage, and every time she would
Yeah.
say something about, yeah, she'd look across at me and Adam and wink, and we're just like, oh, it was
Oh mate.
it was the worst thing ever. It was, and then we had to get up and play straight after.
Oh.
It was dreadful, really, really bad.
Oh.
Anyway, it's good. So, music is obviously a massive part of your life,
Yeah.
and as a part of what you do for. Do you want to tell us what you do for a living? Like what pays your bills, or some of them?
Okay, some of them. Yeah. So like uh as of November, I actually have a contracted job, which is lovely, and that's essentially as a creative director of a church. And so my job with that is I create music videos. Music videos. That makes me sound like a pop. I create videos with music in there, and I create like devotional thoughts. And obviously during this time we're putting all our services online as well. So I've been doing all that. So lots and lots of social media and computer stuff. But as well as that, I obviously work as a musician, and so and that is a this is a weird time, a very very weird time for a musician. It's not one which is an affluent time. It's very surreal and very strange. So yeah, so I think it was it what 2.5 months ago when we had the announcement. Like I had maybe 15, 16, maybe even 20 gigs kind of booked in for the rest of the year, which is quite nice. Some of those were like week long ones, which is lovely. And like overnight they just got cancelled. That was weird. And part of me so last year I had like a crazy stretch of gigs, and I got to the end of it going, do you know what, I kind of next year, can it be a little bit quieter? That'd be nice. Not this quiet, just for clarification. Not this quiet. I don't like it
Yeah,
this quiet. It's very weird. But yeah, so those are the two main kind of focuses that I have.
yeah, that's cool. And so, um, believe it or not, and I hadn't planned this, and I didn't realize this until I was listening to Radio One, because I'm young and hip, in the car the other day, and so I tell myself,
Mate, I'm Radio 4.
uh, and they mentioned that it is in the UK, anyway, I presume, I'm not sure anywhere else, but it's Mental Health Awareness Week.
Oh, yeah.
So, which is really cool. Now, for me, I think music has played a massive part in the positive steps in my life towards, good strong mental health. Like, do you think music plays a part in mental health for many people? What's your experience of that?
Oh, yeah, completely. So my wife works for a mental health listening service in Gloucester, and every so often I get to cover a shift there. And what I've discovered is actually the music, even the music we play on the sound system in the background, has an impact on people. And like, so there's a couple of people who've gone there, who've listened to some of the songs that I've written, and actually, like, they found it really helpful and encouraging, which is great. This is not like a promotion to that. You must buy that EP. It's really encouraging. but actually, there is a power in music, and it stirs emotive responses. And I think during this season, there's a real responsibility on the musicians and the songwriters and the performers and the entertainers, that actually, like, there is a responsibility that we carry, that is to kind of stir and inspire hope and joy in people, even in the isolation. So, in answer to your question, yes, music good.
Yeah, excellent. You mentioned something there about music it can really stir emotions. It's quite an emotive tool, a weapon, even. Yeah, and I don't want to talk a huge amount about church, but I just find it really interesting, because I think being in different church environments, I've heard so many times we talk about it's not about feelings, and forget about your emotions. You just got to come and I, to a certain extent, I agree. Particularly when it comes to just praise. Sometimes that's a decision we have to make. It's not how we feel. We just need to make a decision to do it despite our feelings. But at the same time, music is emotive, and it does. Where do you see that fitting in the church worship and praise environment? Like, how does that work for you?
I th- yeah. I think it's always a balance. Like, I have heard in the past, like, what is it, like, Christians being compared to Jedis. Where they like, emotion is the route to the dark side. That was a really bad quote. Apologies for that. What is anyway? Fear is the anyway. So I don't know. Like, I think there's an element where actually emotion, and like, these are feelings that we've been given, and actually, like, the challenge in especially in, like, corporate times of worship, or when we're singing songs to God, like, as a person who's leading that, like, the challenge that I'm constantly balancing is, how do I make sure that this is not manipulative? How do I encourage people into a place that they want to go, and essentially you are there to enhance musically, rather than force people in, and like, not everybody gets that. Sometimes people will use music to manipulate, but yeah, it's a tightrope balance, like, because you don't want to just go, do you know what, we're just going to get rid of all music, because we don't want to be like our emotions stirred up. We don't want to be kind of like just operating off that. We want it to kind of be a head knowledge thing. Like we're not just head knowledge people. We we have emotions. That's how we operate.
Yeah.
And sometimes in worship, it's good to worship with our emotions and our head.
Yeah. So how does that translate to the stage for you in what you do with Bean Baker Band? Like, do you think about, because when I was in a band, we would think about how we'd enter the stage, how we would start the concert, how we'd build the atmosphere up, how we'd, but then talking about how we want to enhance the atmosphere or enhance the situation, not not manipulate people, but at the same time, ultimately, you want to create an experience where people feel joy or feel good. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
how does that work for you in terms of being Baker Band? When, because it's a very, is it different to church worship? Or is it not?
Yeah, I think we're like a band of like a jack of all trades, and so like we do worship. We also do like covers because that's what people like sometimes, and we do obviously do our own stuff as well. Um, and so like our over the years, like our first focus has been what does the person who's booked us, what do they need, what do they want? Let's honour that and try and supply what they need. I think in the last year or so, it's become more of a way like we need. Like we've been kind of feeling a bit more of the way like actually there's a direction that we've been called into. That's not always going to be aligned with what someone who's booked us kind of wants, and so we've kind of been treading that balance a lot recently. So um, it it is a challenge. Like I can't just go. Do you know what? Here, this one formula here will sort all your problems. It's the perfect thought process to take. I think so. So best way to talk about it is I had a friend in another band, and they went to go see Florence and the Machines, and they were saying that during the performance, during the gig, they felt emotions stirred, and left that place feeling encouraged. And it wasn't obviously it wasn't a worship gig at all, and they were like, well, why can't we do that? I think in the context of worship, as long as we're not manipulating people, I think if we can change the atmosphere of a room, then surely that's a good thing.
Yeah, I heard that. So there's a friend of mine in New Zealand called Wayne Huarua. He runs a Equippers. Uh, well, he runs the creative stream of a Equippers college, and is a worship pastor at Equippers Church in Auckland. And he has a saying that people respond to atmosphere and God responds to faith.
Mm.
And so part of their course for worship leading and their creative lab course is atmosphere training, where
Wow.
they have to lead a set thinking about how they how they control the atmosphere of the room through what they're doing on stage and through the music. What do you feel about that?
Wow. I think
It's
so.
not a trick question. I mean,
No, no, it's
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 quite it's quite funny. So in my church at the moment, the pastor there who's basically been making me take so many personality tests. It's so crazy. I think he's just trying to understand me. I mean, I don't
yeah.
understand me, but he wants to understand me. But one of them actually stuck, and I can't remember what it was. But is it an enneagraph or something? Anyway,
Enneagram.
yeah, that one, that
Yeah.
one. But so actually, I've discovered that I'm an analyst. Which is that one of them?
Yes,
Sure. Well,
it is.
anyway,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
that which actually makes life so much easier because you're actually instead of going what this is where I want people to go, and I'm going to pull them through this route no matter how hard it's going to be, and I'm going to create the atmosphere to kind of drag them that way. Actually, as an analyst, I can look at the room and go, right, what's going on? How can I enhance? How can I add to? How essentially? It's really weird talking that from a musical perspective because actually the bottom line is my job is not to be seen. Like I want to operate like a slanted mirror, so like people can't see me, that people can actually see God
Yeah.
and connect
Yeah.
with Him. Because my job purely there is to is it's the same as like an usher in a wedding.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the one getting married. I'm my
Yeah.
job is to make sure that the marriage happens. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been a usher at a wedding and I worked like a dog at that.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like you just run around and you're there to facilitate the wedding, um, and so like I can understand the idea of people who don't naturally go, well, what? Let's read a room. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
I can understand that because actually, like, there's been times when I've led teams in the past where people just couldn't understand what's going on in a room, and wanted to just kind of keep plowing on with like this really deep emotional time, and everybody sat there going, kind of bored right now.
Yeah.
And in that situation you go, right, well then let's get upbeat, let's do some upbeat, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but I can understand people having some training, because essentially like musicians are all very different. Like sometimes we just get slapped with the label creative, and you're like, well, they're all the same, they all think the same, but I definitely do not think the same as everybody else. I was going to say I don't think the same as you, but didn't you do that Adobe personality test and we came out as the same? Is it adventurer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apart from me and you, no one else thinks the same as us.
Excellent.
But like I can understand like people going, well, here's one of my weak points, so how can I strengthen that?
Yeah, for sure. So you have an EP out?
Yeah.
Album? EP?
EP.
EP.
Part one of an album that is very slow to come to reality.
Oh, is it?
Well, we were going to go into the studio, and then it didn't happen. But we have got songs coming out, which is nice. So we're working on some like music projects at the moment to make sure that we are actually still getting some music out. But I do have an EP that is available to buy or to Spotify if you've got no money. No, we're meant to promote buying things, aren't we? It's on iTunes. You can buy one, and you get one. If you buy two, oh yeah, that's it. If you buy two, you get two. It's the same price. I've got no discounts on that. I'm sorry.
So the Courageous EP, and so that came out last year.
Yeah. Last May, I think, was it? Oh no, I can't remember.
Just before the summer, I think.
Oh,
I mean, it's your EP. You're asking me.
Yeah. I'm totally all over this. Well, yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting because we were like, that EP came out of the reason why we didn't release it in one go, because we do have enough songs for an album, but we were like, but we're not feeling like all those. So like the first song I played, like that song wouldn't sit well on the Courageous EP. Like, it's a bit of fun, and I love fun songs, but that song would not fit on it. Would not sit on it. And so we were like, well, instead of waiting to have 10 songs before we release an album, let's release these songs now, which we feel are right for right now, and then we'll release as we go, which is kind of the idea. It's just we haven't followed that up with second part yet, but it is on its way.
Excellent. So, speaking of songs, do you want to share with us another?
Yeah, I'll do a song. This song is called Light of Love. So I wrote it a couple of years ago. This is actually on the EP, and so I wrote it. I was doing another live stream recently, and people refer to the song as the woohoo song, which there is a lyric that says woohoo in it. There's a guy I knew who used to refer to this thing called the woohoo in our heart, which essentially is that joy which was not dependent on circumstances. And so I wrote this song off the back of me struggling with mental health, actually. And so my wife, like I said before, she worked for a mental health listening service. She still does work for a mental health listening service in Gloucester, and so she'd go out most evenings. So it ran from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. every night, 365 days a year. Wow. Which is crazy. And so most of the nights when she was working, obviously I'd be at home looking after my two children. I have 3 now, but at the time I had 2 children. And after the boys went to bed, I'd come downstairs and I'd have the rest of the evening to myself. Now, initially, that was great, until after a couple of months when you realise I can't go out. And essentially an initial sense of, I suppose, the idea of isolation. And I started to feel a bit lonely. And I don't know about you, but when I started to focus more on that loneliness, I felt more lonely. And I kind of started to spiral down into what I thought was a really big deal, and it kind of spilled out of those evenings as well. So like I'd just wake up in a really bad mood and not great. And so like I got challenged to write a song where I was to stop focusing on the pit that I thought I was in, and to actually instead switch my sight from the darkness to the light. And so this is what this song came from. So I hope you enjoy it. And yeah. Hear my soul screaming out, missing something not quite found. There's a hole in this heart. I won't be consumed by myself. Hard flesh will give out. Look away from where I am. Raise my eyes to light. I reach for your hand. You draw me and draw me close. Draw me close. I'm in love. Focus most and freedoms here. Know you're close, but I need you near. I forget I'm loved by love. Raise my eyes to light. I reach for your hand. You draw me and draw me close. Thank you.
Excellent. Very good.
Cheers, mate.
Good. I did try to subtly send you a message on Messenger, but you either need to turn your microphone up or your guitar down.
Oh.
You could probably get away with putting your voice up. The guitar sounds good.
Ooh. How do I do that?
I don't know. Or can you turn your guitar down? Or is that easier to turn that down? Or
yeah, maybe. Hang on.
We can hear you. Just, but it was great. Sorry, dampen it.
That's all right. No. Hang on. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Sounds good. Excellent. That's great. I love that song.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, like during this time, this lockdown time, what do you want to elaborate more on that?
How has this lockdown time treated me? It's just so weird. Like, so my boy, my middle child, he got a bit of a cough a week before everybody went into lockdown, or a bit more than a week before. And so as soon as if you've had a cough, you now need to isolate. We're like, and everybody in your household needs to isolate. We're like, no. Oh, so I had. Well, I was already home when that announcement came, and I was like, well, that sucks. Guess I'm home now. And so after that week happened, all of a sudden, that's so it's been a bit weird. So we didn't even have the week to prepare before like full lockdown kicked in. Was it a week or 2 weeks? I think 2 weeks, because at the end of our 2 weeks, that's when they announced the full isolation. We're like, oh, great. So it's been a bit weird. And so the thing the thing I found really hard was, so after the 2 weeks, when we could actually like go out again, like pop to the shop or something like that, I found it really, really weird, because like everybody kind of knew about like how to do, social distancing, and I didn't, because everybody else had 2 weeks to do it. So I was like, I went to go buy some popcorn from the garage, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, because you're not 2 meters away. Do I go get like a big stick and stick it on that and put what do I do? And so, yeah, very strange. The guy ended up packing my bag for me, because I wouldn't come anywhere close to it. Very strange.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's just weird. So so in my house I've got 2 boys, one's 6 and one is 4, and then I've got a 7-month-old baby girl, and it's just chaos all day. Which is and it is really lovely. Like I that's not me complaining. It's genuinely they're sweet and lovely, and I really appreciate it. But it's just weird, because obviously like you usually have school or like some downtown that way where you can kind of go, well they're off at school, or I'm off at work, or and that sort of stuff, and I'm really, really strange. I have to say, my wife is amazing. She somehow deals with it all in like a really elegant way. Almost to the point where it just slightly annoys you. Like, what? Stop being so good at this. But yeah, I mean, one of the first things I did get as soon as I heard isolation was kicking in, I got laser tag blasters.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good call.
Oh yeah. Four of them, and you can interchange the weapons on them. So legitimately, sometimes my wife and I and the boys will have like a battle royale of.
That's amazing.
In and out of the house, which is it's funny. What's even funnier is they don't work in the sunlight. So if you play during the day, you're running inside the house and you're like, I don't want to get tagged. I'm just going to stand outside for a little bit. It's great. I am annoyingly, excellent. My eldest son has got quite good at it recently, to the point where like he's starting to beat me quite regularly. So maybe isolation needs to finish soon, I think.
Yeah, I'll just stop playing.
Yeah.
So you're one of those dads, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
In fact, most things are one of those. That's
Yeah.
usually me.
Excellent. Good. So how have you been coping as a family aside from laser tag? How's it? You know.
Yeah, like sorry, just trying to. There we go. It's been weird. It has been really weird. I'd say, yeah. I tell you what's really strange. It is the fact that everybody's in a very similar situation, and so you don't really have not permission to complain because like it like we all it's a sucky experience for all of us, but it is that element where everybody's kind of in it together.
Yeah.
And so what I've discovered, like even in like our road, like we've just felt a real camaraderie amongst our street, like one that like has made it feel like a village. Like
Yeah.
we did like I don't know if you did the VE Day celebrations, but we essentially set up like some speakers, and I brought my guitar out, and we essentially did a mini gig to our road. But it meant that people just came out of their like houses and sat on their front porches with like a cold drink and awesome snacks, just watching the mini gig. And it's really lovely because we live in a road where people are either like young families or really old. and
Yeah.
so it was just really sweet and like yeah, in terms of like my local community, as in where I live, like it's been really, really lovely because we're chatting regularly with our neighbours. Like a lot of us are like quite out all the time, and we're coming into the season where I'm usually just on the road, so I'm not usually at home. So it's a bit of a weird time to also not just be at home, but also to be isolated at home. Very strange, very weird, but actually, I'm seeing glimpses of just community where it was fairly weak before. So it's really it's positives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Now my beard is getting longer, which
I had to cut mine back. It was getting ridiculous.
I mean, mine was ridiculous a long time ago. But I'm determined. I've said I'm not going to cut it much this year because I want to see how big it can get, and whether big is better. I've looked at some pictures of me with shorter like stubble, and I'm like, oh no, I much prefer the beard. But I think it looks better on webcam than it does in real life at the moment. So maybe I'm quite pleased for isolation.
I started out with good intentions to not cut my hair and not shave.
Yeah.
And I think like 4 or 5 weeks in, I was like, this is horrendous.
This is so no cut.
I shaved my beard back.
No cut.
Kind of cut my hair, although
I have a very round face, just to clarify.
I'm impressed.
It actually stops here. I actually haven't looked at the chat, so this is mildly confusing. So they must be, what is this guy on?
Apparently Ben's grown his beard as well.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, so Joanne is on from Sydney, Australia. Apparently Steve's grown a beard as well. This is great.
Oh, that's great. I'd love to see a picture of that. That'd be awesome.
It would be good. Yeah.
What time is it over there at the moment then?
What are they, 11 hours ahead of us? 10 hours ahead of us?
Oh, okay.
So early morning.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Risen especially to come and see us, I'm sure.
Oh, that's really sweet of them.
Excellent.
I love those two. They're amazing.
They're great. Oh, look, you got another guitar.
Oh, yeah, this one. This one was also... I think both you and Steve had to go at this one.
Oh, that's my favourite.
I think both of you got very angry with this guitar. We won't repeat what you called this guitar.
That's the first guitar. Yeah, no, we can't repeat that. It was the first.
First guitar that brought you to anger, genuine anger.
Yeah. So this is actually this is an Avalon. For those who do like guitars, this is an Avalon, which is made in Ireland, I believe.
Yes.
And
Belfast, I believe.
Is that they are? Oh, Northern Ireland. Okay, they are owned by Christian. Is that right? Christian values at least.
Yeah, so I got mine.
I don't know much about them.
This is my second Avalon, not because I have bought 2 Avalons.
Okay.
Just I'm not that wealthy a musician. But I many years ago there's this organisation called Worship Central. Before it was Worship Central, it was a thing called Passion for Your Name. It was a festival that I went with. Me and my dad went, and my it sounds like such a weird story. My dad came back and he goes, "Hey, I've just met this Northern Irish bloke in the shower." I'm like, "What?" It was a camp, and it was the queue to the shower, but he left that bit out. And he's like, "Oh, apparently he's the son of the person who has selling some guitars in the marketplace." And I was like, "Oh, I'll go check it out." So I chatted to the guys there, and they were offering like something stupid like 60% discount on a brand new guitar, which I was just like, that is nutty. Nice. But I will take that. So I ordered it, and I got an Avalon. It was beautiful. It was a slightly lighter wood than this, and then I took it on a flight, ironically, over to New York, Northern Ireland, and came back. And on the way back, the wonderful. And it was an Orange airline company. I don't know whether we can say the names on live, but they dropped it and smashed it to smithereens. And so luckily it was insured, and I got a new guitar out of it. So this is my second Avalon.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. Very rich.
And why do you... So before I played guitar, I used to look at guitarists who had multiple guitars and think, what on earth, why do they need that? I mean, it's just excess, surely. Why do you have 2 guitars?
Excess, really.
Yeah.
No. So this guitar is in a different tuning. It's in Dagga tuning. So both Steve and Lewis have set it up for me just to make sure that is nice to play and that stuff, which is probably part of the reason why it was such a pain. The other part was because it's an Avalon. But yeah, so I've got multiple guitars for different tunings.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're going to demonstrate for us?
Hopefully so. I'm really kind of hoping that the levels are okay now.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Cool. Over to you.
Oh, this guitar's a lot louder, I realise. Maybe bring that down a little bit. And this one down. Yeah, it's totally fine. Okay.
Stretch.
Oh, just everything to edit it, like all the way over there. Okay. How does that sound? Is that a bit better?
That sounds good.
Cool. Okay. So this song is called... I haven't got a name for it yet. It's something. Might even put my capo on properly. That might be really helpful. There we go. What did you see in the light? It disappeared from my sight. It's all that I had known. But now it's gone. Spending my days in the sun, basking in all of its light. Crawling around in the dirt, hoping that this was all it was. You see, I long for a static world of sort, where there's no end, but there's no growth at all. But I find myself in the place of change. Why can't I bypass this, stay the same? Oh, the chrysalis is getting rather tight. Oh, my are tired, I'm losing the will to fight. Oh, it's been so long in this darkness that I'm scared to see the light. Well, in the darkness I won't see the metamorphosis you're doing me. Oh, the shell I'm in, no, I don't want to leave. Why can't you just let me be? Oh, why can't you just let me be? Oh, the chrysalis is getting rather tight. Oh, my arms are tired, I'm losing the will to fight. Oh, it's been so long in this darkness that I'm scared to see the light. So this song, kind of the working title is Reluctant Butterfly. And it's essentially down a caterpillar that doesn't want to become a butterfly. But it goes into this bridge, and if you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. Maybe not you, Lewis, because it'll mess up the stream. Not because you've not got a beautiful voice, it's just the lag. But if you're in a room with people who don't know you're watching the stream, put your headphones in and then start singing out. They'll think you're crazy. It's great. Here we go. You weren't born for the ground, you're made to soar. I'll actually get the right tempo as well. You weren't born for the ground, you're made to soar. You weren't born for the ground, you're made to soar. You weren't born for the ground, you're made to soar. Made to soar. Yes, made to soar. You weren't born for the ground, you're made to soar. You weren't born for the crown, you're made to soar. You weren't born for the crown, you're made to soar. Made to soar. Made to soar. Made to soar. I don't know if you ever have those times when you're singing a song and you're like, oh, I should not talk and play instruments. Doesn't work. My brain just goes, nope.
Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, well, at least
have you ever? Okay. Do you ever sing with when you do covers of songs? Do you ever sing with an accent of the person who originally did the song?
I try. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. So I remember doing this. It was this worship set, and this is probably, oh my gosh, 15. No, maybe like 13, 14 years. Oh, wow. No, 20. How old am I? Man. I'm talking like 20, 23, 24 years ago. Yeah. Maybe 23 years ago. and the big band at the time was Delirious. So, and now he's got a very strong accent, and so I sang the song, probably with a bit of his accent. And then I went into a talky bit in the middle of the song, to a bit of a call to worship kind of thing. I started talking with with the same accent. Oh man, I had so much. I had a lot of abuse after that.
Yeah, yeah. I think there have been times when I've legitimately spoken an American accent off the back of singing songs. Like,
Yeah. Such a
yeah.
weird thing.
It is weird.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, well, joys.
Good.
The joys of it all.
Absolutely. So let's finish up with, if you the Prime Minister does this video every day. They have or whoever it is, Matt Hancock or whoever, they come out in front of all the cameras, stand in front of their little lectern, and they 8 o'clock every day, whenever or whatever. If you had that lectern now, what would you want to say to the country?
These are questions you need to prep me with, Lewis.
No, they're way better if you don't prep.
Hi, country. How's it going? It's lovely to see you. Well, I can't see you. I see the camera. What's up? I
mean, it's strong. It's going well.
Strong. I don't know. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything that I can say that's gonna like. I'm not gonna say something to maybe. Hey guys, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should do this. Think about this, because do you know what? We're in a season where we're all trying. Like we're in a bit of a tough situation, and we just like soldiering on is pretty much what we're doing. But I suppose I want to say, like, you're not in it alone. Like, there are people there. Like, even if they aren't obvious, there are always people you can contact and chat to. But equally at the same time, like, you're doing a great job, guys. Smash.
That's cool.
10
That's
points.
Great.
10 points to you. Can we have like a country scoring system?
100%.
Is that a thing?
Can we have a gold star chart?
Oh, can you imagine? Yeah, that's the first thing I'd bring in. A gold star chart for humans, English people. I don't know. British people, there we go.
Not the Welsh, yeah. Silver stars for those, yeah.
Oh, no, platinum.
Ah, there you go. Good save, yeah.
It just looks like silver.
Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, mate,
I think that's really good. And I think one of the things, when I started this lockdown, I felt alone, even though I'm in a house with my wife and kids, and
yeah,
it's strange, especially when you're part of a strong community and stuff. And so,
yeah.
But one thing I've realized is actually it's just different. Like we have to. I think humans are amazing at adapting, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And I've got a 9-month-old baby, so you see how they just adapt to things and how they learn and change and figure things out. And I guess we never stop doing that. And I think in that time, this is something we have to continue to do, and do things like this.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've discovered is actually it's forcing me to hang out with people more. That sounds really weird, but like obviously like in the evenings, like I've got 3 children. Like if Sarah's working, then like I can't go out. But actually, that's no longer a stumbling block.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I hope that people will utilize more connections. There's people who I haven't spoken to for years that have all of a sudden we're like, oh wait, like we could totally do this. Like we could have a conversation, like me and you. Like you are not in Gloucester.
No,
but we are. Well, essentially, we're hanging out right now in front of a lot of people watching us. I mean, that's slightly weird. But can you imagine if you did a live version of this? Just like we're just gonna hang out, or gonna sit in a room, just come gather around the house. Oh dear! But I think strangely, I think it might actually bring us slightly closer together. Like people who are further afield, slightly closer together.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an optimist, but I'm hoping that we don't go back to normal after this. That there will be some things that will fundamentally shift how we look as a nation, or united.
Yeah.
Is Wales and England in the same nation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We are the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Essentially we're a principality of the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's exciting. Sounds quite posh.
Yeah.
Are you still like in like fairly strict lockdown stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so ours is lifted a little bit, but yours
Yeah.
is still
We
around.
didn't. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably the smart thing to do.
Well, we'll soon find out.
We will. No, it's been good, man. Enjoyed it.
No, I think you're right. I think things can't go back to how they were.
No.
I think we've realized actually there's so many more ways to communicate. There's and that we need to communicate. I think that's the big thing. I think actually once you've shut everyone off in your world, it's like, oh, I need that communication. I need to talk. I need to and having these opportunities on Zoom and Skype, and we do a quiz every week with the Navah guys, and on Zoom, and it's great. And there's no motive to it or agenda. It's just hanging out, and that's all we can do right now. But it's good enough,
So good.
Yeah, it's good.
There's a couple who we've been trying to hang out with for ages, but never really found a time. We just dropped them a message last night. We're just like, "Hey, you free for a Zoom?" Or any other video chat
Absolutely.
platform.
Well, there's a massive logo on our live streams in Zoom, but whatever.
That's all right.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, we are." And then we were literally like within like 15 minutes notice, we were hanging out with them, playing some Jackbox. You played Jackbox?
No. What's that? No. I guess not. I don't think so.
It's just a game you can play. It's like party games.
Okay.
So you have a host who has it on their computer, and then they can stream it on Zoom.
Okay.
And then people can log on and then connect to the game.
Nice.
So you can all play games. I mean, definitely had the family-friendly filter put on. Just saying.
I think I might have played this.
It's a great game, but family-friendly filter on.
Okay, good.
Clarify.
Good points there. I'm pretty sure I've played Jackbox. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Looking at the comments on YouTube. Excellent.
Jackbox, yeah.
Yeah.
Extroverts unite.
Excellent.
Is that a bit of a Liverpool quote from Joanne there?
Yes. Well, I mean, Steve is from Liverpool, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Quiplash. That was it. That's what I played.
Oh yeah. Quiplash. That we played a game of that yesterday, and legitimately, I got made to feel like the most unfunniest human being in the world.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, if those of you who haven't played it, you essentially have to come up. You get asked a question, and you've got to come up with a funny answer rather than the correct answer, or the answer that's going to have the most likes. And yeah, I'm apparently not a funny guy.
Who knew?
Who knew? I thought I was pretty funny, but
I thought you were funny.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. Excellent.
Oh,
good. So, man, time has flown by, and I guess people are still with us, which is great. But I guess we should try and wrap up. And well, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last hour and chatting and singing and sharing stuff. And do you want to finish with one last song, or have you got one you could do? Or?
Oh, I was thinking, "Give Me All in My Lamp."
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I might actually do it just to call your bluff.
Absolutely. No objections from me.
You're actually not. Fine.
Cool. I'm yeah. Over to you.
Fine. If you're okay with, I'm gonna do it. It's like not a Mexican standoff. What is it? Yeah. This is "Give Me All in My Lamp." This is where you cut the stream. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Oh yeah, I've got the accent. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Keep me burning to the break of day. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me praising. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me praising. Keep me praising till the... Oh, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King of Kings. Sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna, sing, Hosanna to the King. That's all I got. Do you actually want like a real song? Would that be better?
You can finish with a real song. It'd be good. And we can plug. So, guys, you can follow the Bean Baker Band on Instagram and Facebook and probably other things that I don't know anything
Instagram,
about.
YouTube, Facebook.
YouTube, that's the one.
I mean, you could follow us on Twitter, but I mean, I never post on there, so it will be a waste of time.
Yeah. And it's is it Bean Baker Band or the Bean Baker Band?
No, there's no the. Just
okay.
Bean Baker Band.
Bean Baker Band.
Yeah, in fact, I never put a the in it, but some people who know that I don't put a the in it decide to put a the, but not in the Bean Baker Band. They put Bean Baker, the band, and it just drives me insane. I don't know what to do with it.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant. I like it. Cool. So yeah, guys, if you want to go and give them a follow, and I recommend the EP. I've played it. I've got it. I like it in the car. It's a driving EP for me. Aww. I do enjoy it, and my kids enjoy it. So I do recommend it. That's a genuine recommendation.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Cool. Over to you then.
Well, this song is called Strong and Courageous, and that is off that EP. I hope you enjoy it. I know how hard this life can be if you let this fear consume all you are. You end up living just to be nothing more. I don't want that for you, child. I brought you out to live in fullness of life. So I say to you, no, don't be afraid, 'cause I'm right here. And oh, did you know I made you strong and courageous? Fear's no hold on you. You say to me, don't be afraid. Have you seen the way this world plays with your head? When fear steps in and there's another mistake, you say just you wait. I know that I am in control. I had you from the very start. I've not just got your back, your side, because you're mine. I take the front line. Oh, did you know I made you strong and courageous? Fear's no hold on you, on you. And I say, your anxious heart, but I made you strong and courageous. Fear's no hold on you, on you, on you. Rise up, you're in the ranks of heaven now. Don't let this fear pin you down. Rise up, whoa. Rise up, you're in the ranks of heaven now. Don't let this fear pin you down. Rise up, whoa. So rise up. by his side. Oh. And oh, what did you know? I made you strong and courageous. Fear has no hold on you, on you. And I say, you're anxious heart, but I made you strong and courageous. Fear has no hold on you, on you, on you.
Excellent. So good, man. So good. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us and sharing your songs and music and thoughts. And it's been so good.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
Oh, mate, my absolute pleasure. I think after the rocky start, that was generally a success.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I have no idea. I've not seen any of the comments, but you're like, don't look, it's fine.
No, it's good. I think people are enjoying it, so it's good. Cool. Well, we'll call it a night there. But again, thank you so much, and look forward to seeing what is the future for Being Baker Band and all that you're doing, and it's exciting.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Well, thank you very much, and take care. Take care, everyone who's tuned in and joined us, and we'll see you all again soon. We're actually doing another one next week. I've got a friend, Espen, who is a creative leader in a church in Denmark. So he's going to be joining us next Monday night, 8 p.m. It's going to be great.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Awesome.